division. Okay, so now we are in decimal division. Let's take an example and see the exercise 2.7 divided by 0.9. Okay, so in normal numbers, let's assume that it was this exercise. 27 divided by 9. How would we solve it? If it was bigger numbers, we would write it down like this and solve it with long division. But those numbers are not those numbers. It has decimal point and those doesn't have. So how can we solve this exercise? What do I care about the other exercise that I've just erased? So we can transform this exercise into the other one that I just deleted. How can we do it? If we think about it, when we have one number divided by a second number, we can multiply them both by 10, for example, and the exercise will stay the same exercise. Let's take an example. 49 divided by 7. The result is 7. If I will take 490 divided by 70, the result will also be 7. So wait, I just multiplied this number by 10 and this number by 10 and the result remains. So what can I learn from here? That I can multiply both numbers only in division and the result will stay the same. So if I can see, if someone give me an exercise with division of decimals numbers, I can tell him, oh dude, I will transform your exercise into one which doesn't have decimal point. How will I do it? Here I will multiply both numbers by 10, and so 2.7 times 10 is 27. When we multiply a decimal number by 10 or by 100, we just need to move the decimal point some places to the left or right side, depends on if we are dividing or multiplying. So let's take a quick look at this before we keep going. 0.1. If we multiply it by 10, it becomes 1. If we multiply 1 by 10, it becomes 10. If we multiply 0.76 by 10, if we multiply it by 10, it becomes 7.6 because the decimal point will move one place to the right. Whenever we multiply a number with decimal point by 10, the point will just move one right place. And if we will multiply it by 100, it will move 2 places to the right. So let's get back to our exercise. 2.7 divided by 0.9, and I want to multiply both numbers by 10 because I can do it. As you have seen, it will stay the same exercise. So 2.7 times 10 is 27, and 0.9 times 10 is 9 because the decimal point moved one place to the right. So this exercise is much more easy because it has normal numbers. We can solve it however we like. So the result here is 3, we know it, and therefore the result here is also 3 because it is actually the same exercise. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, No, yes, okay. 13.2 divided by 1.1. So, guys, what would you do when you get an exercise like this? The first thing you would do is to make the decimal point disappear. I don't like decimal points. How would you do it? Think about it for a second. So, you will multiply both numbers by 10 because you need to move the decimal point one place to the right. So, let's multiply this number by 10. It becomes 132. And let's multiply this number by 10 and it becomes 11 because we moved the decimal point to this place, sorry. And now, how can we solve it? We can solve it in our head. We can solve it in long division if we would like. So the result here is 12. Let's take a look at another example. Okay. Okay, so I very like this exercise. 629 divided by 7.4. So, only one number contains a decimal point. What should we do? I want to remove this decimal point. So, I will multiply this number by 10, as we have learned. And the decimal point will move one place to the right. So, the exercise will become like this. 629 divided by 74. But wait, it's not the same exercise. In this line, we can see 629 divided by 7.4. And in this line, it's the same number divided by a different number, 74. What did I do wrong? As I have said to you, when we multiply one of the numbers by 10, we must multiply the second also. We cannot multiply only one number. We must multiply them both or divide them both by the same exact number. So when we multiplied this number by 10, we must multiply this number also. So the exercise will become 6,290 divided by 74. And now it's the same exercise as before. Okay, how will we solve this? Long division. Or whatever you like. If you prefer to solve it in your head, you can do it also. So, and the result doesn't matter right here. I just want to focus on the fact that when you want to delete the decimal point, you cannot do it only on one number. When only this number have a decimal point. To remove it, we will multiply this number by 10 and also this number by 10. This is the most important part in decimals division, and there are more methods to solve those exercises, but this is the main one. We need to always get rid of the decimal point. Always. And then we can keep going with however we would like. It's not decimal anymore.